The Wall Street protests that are entering their third week in New York are now spreading to other cities.
While Egyptian protests divide the country and threaten stability.
100 cities across Brazil have seen a fresh wave of mass protests.
Demonstrators accuse the leaders of the world's largest economies of turning a blind eye to the problems of those who are in need.
More than 10,000 people have marched to Nice to protest against the G20 summit.
Back here at home, many viewers have little idea of how large or how serious these revolts really are.
People are waking up. They're in the streets, they're educating themselves, and they are demanding change. It seems the days of the quiet citizen are becoming numbered as more and more grow tired of our current ways. In 2011, Time magazine gave Person of the Year to the protester. As they stated in the cover story themselves, massive and effective street protest was a global oxymoron until suddenly, shockingly, starting exactly a year ago, it became the defining trope of our times, and the protester, once again, became a maker of history. Since the year 2000, millions protested in over 100 countries around the world for reasons ranging from the economy to 9/11 truth. In some cases, peaceful protests even led to the overthrowing of governments in power. To name some of the notable protests, in 2010 and 2011, over 600,000 protested in Greece against new austerity measures. The Greek people were unhappy with unemployment and the state of the economy and decided to take their displeasure to the streets. In 2011, the Occupy movement sprung up, bringing out hundreds of thousands from more than 95 countries, raising awareness about wealth inequality, political corruption, and corporate influence over government. Also in 2011, over 6 million marched in Spain due to political and financial unrest. This was a month-long protest. Continuing the trend in 2011, the Egyptians revolted against election fraud and other socio-economic factors. Millions took to the streets and effectively overthrew their government. In 2013, the Egyptians were at it again, this time protesting over economic and security issues. They once again successfully overthrew their government to bring about change. 2013 also saw a huge uprising in Turkey, where protesters demanded the protection of Gezi Park and hoped to raise awareness about police brutality, freedom of speech, and to push their government to resign. The Turkish people were successful in protecting the park, and some police officers were dismissed after investigation revealed extensive bouts of brutality. 2013 was also home to the March Against Monsanto. It featured over 2 million people from 52 countries. The goal was to raise awareness about genetically modified foods and GMO labeling. Protesters wanted citizens to have the right to know if they are buying GMO products by having them labeled. These are just some of the unprecedented amount of protests that have taken place in the last few years. This isn't to say that protesting is the answer to the world's issues, but we are seeing clear signs of people getting fed up with how things are. The general population is standing up for themselves and demanding change. Protesting is not the only sign that people are getting antsy. The internet and social media have been riddled with websites, Facebook pages, and campaigns all geared towards raising awareness and bringing about change. Popular content includes environmental issues, healthcare, food supply, political corruption, financial corruption, religious corruption, 9/11 truth, the ruling elite, military-industrial complex, UFOs, wars, and more. The popularity of this content is undeniable, as many websites featuring this content are amongst the biggest in the world. Hundreds of millions are engaging in this content every day as people are seeing things more and more clearly. The question is, what is happening here and what does it all mean? We've been on a journey for the past 2 years to find out what is going on with the world and how it affects us all. Are we in the midst of a major revolution, a shift in consciousness? If so, what is causing all of it? And what role does each one of us play? What we found out was nothing short of amazing.